So, um, I get it, Shannon. Like it looks fun and everything, but you're way too old for that. Way too old for that, bro. He's like 55. If a woman was 35, that's still too young in a way. Like not 19 years old. So I'm disappointed in Shannon. One of his sponsors on Nightcap is Rose Sparks, which is a Viagra company. He's always making jokes about I'm on the Sparks, I'm on the Sparks. Well, Shannon, stay off the Sparks right now because like you be getting crazy off the Sparks apparently. Um, uh, but all in all, I don't know what's going on here. I also feel bad for women that are actually go through these things because women that accuse these athletes of this, we immediately assume that they're just trying to grab money, and then it hurts it for those women that are actually affected by this. So, um, all in all, I'm disappointed in Shannon that he put himself in this position. I don't know what the hell Belichick's doing. So I hope he ends up completely innocent, but he also offered her 10 billion already and she said no. Damn. Um I don't know. I hope he's innocent, but also if he isn't innocent, I hope the woman gets, her fair share of justice, but just disappointed in Shannon for putting himself in this position.
All right, let me go, man. Freaky Shay Shay. Freaky Shay Shay. That's your new name, man. You gotta chill on. You gotta chill, bro. You are wilding out. I agree with box office, bro. Can't put yourself in that position. I remember being a senior in high school and a freshman looked very good. She was a beautiful little girl, and she wanted to talk to me. She had passed the word that she wanted to talk to me. She was completely off limits to me because she was a freshman and I was a senior. 3-year age difference. This man gone. He's 55. She's 19. Yuck, bro. that's that's for real. Like I really look at it. I look at it like that. Like yuck. I'm not even 55. I'm 46. I have a daughter that's 19, and to me, that's almost like my daughter bringing her friends over here, and I'm like, damn, she bad right there. No, that's craziness. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I know I'm not. I don't run in the circles that Shannon Sharpe runs in, but bruh, there are women, they don't have to be. I'm sure you probably didn't want a 55-year-old woman. 35 box office, you tripping. He can do that. He
Yeah.
can do that. He can go for 35. But 19, bruh, she just graduated. She literally just got out of high school, bruh. So to me, and I know you have children that are young. He has children older than her.
Yeah.
And that right there should key in your head. It automatically makes me think, okay, well, I got I got a child older than her. Girl, get out of my face. You know what I mean? That's how you attack that. Because young women do they hit on older guys, especially older guys with status and money. So we don't know. She might have went after him, but you have to know how to say no. Like Cat Williams said, you got to tell them no. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get yourself in these positions. And I'm not saying like she's accusing him of rape. That's a hard word, and that's a that's a hard charge to put on somebody. And once you're accused of these type of things, you're already convicted in the court of public opinion. You know what I mean? I think that maybe right now that's not so much true because automatically we think it's a money grab when it comes to people like Shannon Sharpe and a 19-year-old woman, 20-year-old woman, and then you hear that he released the best thing he did was release those text messages and to defend himself a little bit, but it actually still doesn't really defend it because a woman can tell you yes 1,000 times and tell you one time no, and you keep going, and that's rape. So it really, to me, it doesn't matter all those text messages she sent him and all that other stuff. If she told you no that time and you continue, that is rape. And I think that he's smart enough to know that. I think he's smart enough to know that. So no, do I think he's guilty? And I might be wrong. No, I don't think he's guilty of rape. I don't. But I also, oh damn, Jimmy Butler just messed up my parlay. Anyway, bro. Uh I don't think he's guilty, but if he is, he does deserve whatever's coming to him. The thing is, especially when this happens, when it's a civil suit, not a criminal suit, I'm very skeptical. I'm very skeptical after then. And then her lawyer, I forget what her lawyer's name is.
Tony Busby.
Yeah, Busby. He's a scumbag. You know, he was the one that I think Jay-Z, if I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z is suing him now because he tried to tie him in with the P. Diddy stuff. You know, he actually he like targets famous black people with suits like this, and I just I don't agree with it. And she picked the right lawyer but the wrong lawyer. You know what I mean? So I think everything leads toward everything in my eyes, in my opinion. My wife said I'm kind of biased because she said, if I didn't know you better, I would think that I would think that you that something was wrong with you, because I'm always leaning more toward, okay, you have to, they're innocent till proven guilty, and that's with everybody. And I make sure everybody says allegedly when they go on the air on my station, and you know, we don't convict them before they're convicted. But the everything that's around her side of it seems pretty fishy to me, and I just don't trust it. My judgment just off what I've seen so far is she's lying. It's a money grab. She should have just took the 10 million and been quiet, and now she's gonna end up with nothing, in my opinion.
I got a question for you. Do you from what I seen from social media and people from my battle rap friends out there, they feel like a white woman attacking another successful black man. Do you think that is the thing also that's being used right now that you agree with?
Um, I think there is, I guess, a storyline there, but I think it's more of just a young woman attacking another successful athlete slash entertainer, because that's it happens too often with black women doing the same thing. So I don't think it's just because she's white and she's targeting a black man. I think that that's just a money grab right now for all of these. I don't know. Did he say he found on OnlyFans or something?
Yeah,
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 and yeah, exactly. He did. No, he actually apparently met her at the gym when she was 19. They exchanged numbers, and that's how it started. Eventually, she told him she was on OnlyFans. So, Keel, I'm gonna answer your question. Like, I don't think it's a white girl trying to get after a black guy. She's on OnlyFans, bro. She would have screwed over any dude. It
Whoever
doesn't
bit,
matter what. What's
whoever
that?
bit, whoever bit. Leonardo DiCaprio could have jumped in her DMs and she'd hit his ass up too.
Right. I do.
So
Yeah. That's all I was gonna say. Like, she's the OnlyFans girl, bro. Come on, we got to keep it real.
no,
You got to watch yourself with those.
yeah,
Max, what you
like
think about this?
I think there's a lot that go. Okay, so first I want to give Box Office a shout out because I do like what he wasn't biased towards Shannon Sharpe, and he spoke about Bill Belichick, because there's a lot of people that's going hard on Shannon Sharpe but not speaking out on Bill Belichick dating a way younger girl for like
that's
40
wild.
some years. So I respect that. So his
Mm,
stance
facts.
is the same across the board. Now, here's a little pushback because I do agree with y'all as far as I have daughters. My daughter just is about to graduate soon. She's about to turn 19 this year. So of course I don't want her dating no 55, 55-year-old dude. If she want a 55-year-old dude, like bro, you older than me. What are we talking about here?
Mhm.
But you
But
know,
then
Shannon
imagine she
Sharp.
brings 73-year-old Belichick.
Right. But I think C and I, maybe you guys can as well. But I'm looking at it from when Shannon Sharp, what era Shannon Sharp grew up in, and I'm gonna take it like this: Hugh Hefner made it cool to date young girls,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
nobody ever said, "Oh, Hugh Hefner, you're dating Kendra, and Kendra's only 19 years old," or Holly's 21 and you're like 70 years old dating these young women. It was almost like glorified that he got these young women. He had three girlfriends at one time. They had a whole show about him dating three young ladies that was like under 24 years old. And Shannon Sharp, and I just said I don't necessarily agree with that because I wouldn't want my daughters dating. But I think that he grew up in that era. He was a grown man when it was going down. But Hugh Hefner's been around for a long time. He's always dated young girls in a sense. And I think, like C said, it's not so much a girlfriend like Bill Belichick. It was more about just a good time. A good time. And I hope and pray on both parties. If Shannon is wrong, like C said, I hope that, he has to face whatever he did. And if the
Agreed.
young lady is wrong and she knows that she's doing what she's doing is wrong, I hope that she has to face whatever she faces. Unfortunate situation. But I also add this point: Drea Michelle, 39. Jalen Green's what, like 22? She's having a baby by Jalen Green. Beyonce and Jay-Z started dating when Beyonce was 19 years old. Now just think about it. Jay-Z was 31. See, you'd be okay if Morgan butt home a 31-year-old dude?
Come on, man. No, bro.
What I think about that is I think that people don't keep the same energy when a female is dating a younger man compared to a younger female dating an older man. I honestly feel like they don't keep the same energy. And when it says 19, that it don't sound right. It don't sound right. And the people that were dating at the time, you know, you may look at her as a kid because you guys have kids, but technically she's still
She's
an adult
grown.
at the end of the day. Yeah, she's still an
What?
adult at the end of the day. You make your own decisions. You make grown adult decisions. You make those mistakes. You obviously got to learn from it. I don't necessarily agree with all of that that's happening right now. I think there's a lot of things that's we're not sure of because it just don't make sense that she turned down 10 million. 10 million is a lot, man. A lot of people, some rookies don't even get 10 million in certain sports leagues, and she wants it to 50 million. I think there's more to it than what is said, and I think there's more to this than from what we know right now. I mean, so does some of the stories just don't add up. I just on both of the sides, man. And yeah, I think that's the huge problem and issue right now. I do also feel like people didn't keep the same energy when Skip Bayless was accused of certain things like that because they were ridiculing Skip Bayless. I barely seen people defend Skip. I see a good amount of people defending Shannon Sharpe in this situation right now. So I just don't feel like people don't keep the same energy when it came to that. Also,
I don't think it's a girlfriend type thing. I think we have to stop saying that because it's not a girlfriend type thing. I think it's just a jump off, man. That's all it is. Like we don't date, we don't go places together. We smash and that's it. And we go our separate ways. I think that people are, trying to make it seem like that's his girl. That was this girl, man. That was this
Yeah,
girl. I'm
that
not
that
saying
was
it's
not his
right. I'm
fault.
just saying.
so he
My
was So he
Go
was
ahead.
her sugar. He was her sugar daddy. That's what it was.
No, no, he was just a hookup.
Yeah, like it's just somebody, I hate to say it, but that's how it sounds. Like I know I can smash, so I just call you after late nights, and that's all it is. It's
I,
nothing more, nothing less.
let me tell you where I had a problem at. I Keo said something. I guess I got what he's saying. They said people don't keep the same energy for if it was a man and a woman. And you brought up Jalen Green, right? I think the problem is nobody likes to see anybody being taken advantage of, and at
Right.
this in this position, it looks as if she's trying to take advantage of Shannon. So I think that's why you see more people coming toward the defense of Shannon than they did with Skip. Whereas Skip, it seemed as if Skip was trying to take advantage of her, his position at the company, toward her. And this time it seems like the
I,
young
I
lady
I
is.
I looked at it. I I looked at it different though because a lot of people hated Skip, and Shannon Sharp is loved by millions of people out there. Like I think it's more the hate love situation of how people feel between those two.
I still, like I said, I think it's about taken advantage of. I think that in this position, it seems as if he's being taken advantage of because of his money and status. I think everybody kind of sees it as it was just a sexual relationship, and probably Unc probably was paying her. He probably was being a sugar daddy to her. But when mad they come, like they say down here, you know what I'm saying? You see what happens, and this is almost like extortion to me. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm.
so I look at it like this, and then there are different standards. Like he just brought up the Drea Michelle thing. It's kind of like you people make jokes. I've seen comedians making jokes about this. About if I told you if I told you that like they have these female teachers that are sleeping with the students.
Right.
Those are handled totally different in the public eye than with a male teacher sleeping with a female student.
Absolutely.
Those are looked at totally different. Like I've heard comedians say, "Man, where were these teachers at when I was in high school that was sleeping with the students or whatever?" Because these teachers bad and all that. You'll see them, you be like, "Dang, they all kind of bad," and you kind of look at it like that. But I don't give a damn what the man look like and what the little girl look like. If you have a male teacher sleeping with a female student, he's a pervert, and they need to throw his ass under the jail and all of that. But they don't keep the same energy for the female teacher as they do for the male teacher. And that's because the power dynamic, it seems as if, okay, the male teacher was taking advantage of her, and with the female teacher and the male student, it looks as if, oh man, he won. You know what I'm saying? He got to hit the teacher. That's how people look at it. And then I think that like I said, I think it's the power dynamic and who's getting taken advantage of here.
Did,
Um,
did, did y'all ever look at Hugh Hefner and say to yourself he's wrong for what he's doing? And truthfully, don't like be truthful with yourself.
I never felt that way though that he was wrong.
Hugh Hefner, I I laughed at Hugh Hefner. I said, ain't no way he doing nothing with them little girls, bro. That's how I looked at it. I looked at it because Hugh Hefner died like a few years ago, but he had, like you said, 3 girlfriends all the way up until he died, and he had the Playboy Mansion and all kinds of young girls around there forever. I think it was more of an image, and that started in the 70s or 60s when he did it, and he probably did mess with the little girls back then because he was probably in his 40s, 30s and 40s, but um he he I think that really I think that was more of an image and the thing that he portrayed. He was Hugh Hefner from the Playboy Mansion. I think a better example of it would have been Flavor Flav.
Okay, did you have a problem? So did anybody ever have a problem when he was dating Hoops?
No, I never looked at it like that. I think you're right though. It's like the era that you grew up in. Like I think back then, like I think people would get away with it and we would get a pass for it. But I think right now, the way it is right now, especially with these allegations and rape and all that, I think nobody would get a pass. You would get judged differently. I think back then you would actually get a pass. I don't know, maybe because I was younger and I didn't really think like that, but
Yeah, because
I
I'm like you. I never looked at Flavor Flav and said to myself, "Oh man, you too old for Delicious, or you too old for Hoops." I never
But that's
thought
what I'm
that.
saying. It goes again to, like I said, the power dynamic. Everybody felt
mm,
like those women were taking advantage of him being Flavor Flav. They were getting popular, being on TV. Nobody looked at it as in they were in a real relationship. And this is going for one, Flavor Flav ugly as hell. So nobody was like it's like you already knew they not with him because they like him. They with him because he Flavor Flav and they getting money for this. So I think that when people look at it as a dynamic of a young woman getting money from an older man, they don't have a problem with it. And the problem with it comes now that she's saying that he raped her.
Right, that's the only problem. That's the only problem. I mean, then like Keo said,
that's
she's old enough.